Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. We've got some news that's definitely causing a stir in Cleveland. And no, it's not just about the upcoming season or the latest draft pick. It's about one of the most crucial players on the roster, Myles Garrett, and a situation that has the Browns coaching staff and fans alike paying close attention. Probably heard about the recent speeding ticket that Garrett received, but let's dig into what this really means for the Browns and their championship aspirations. Because, honestly, when you're talking about Myles Garrett, you're talking about one of the most dominant pass rushers in the league, a guy who's been instrumental in the Browns' defense over the past few seasons. And as we all know, Cleveland's defense has been a cornerstone of their success, especially with Garrett leading the charge as an elite edge rusher. But now, this incident raises questions not just about off-field behavior, but about the team's approach to discipline and protecting their investments. Just to set the scene, Garrett was cited for speeding, allegedly driving at 100 mph in a 60 mph zone. This happened just hours after the Browns' preseason game last Saturday. Now, you might think, it's just a speeding ticket, but for Cleveland, it's about much more than that. It's about the message it sends to the team, to Garrett himself, and to fans who look up to him. Garrett, who signed a massive 4-year, $160 million contract this past offseason, is not just a star player, he's practically the face of this Browns defense. When you invest that kind of money into a player, it's natural for the organization to expect maturity, focus, and a sense of responsibility both on and off the field. Now, let's talk about the history. Garrett isn't exactly a stranger to speeding incidents. There was that one time where he flipped his Porsche, which many interpreted as a wake-up call for him. Since then, he's publicly stated that the incident served as a lesson, a moment of reflection on the importance of safety and responsibility. So, it's ironic, isn't it? Because now, just a few years later, we're hearing about another speeding incident, which seems to be a step back from that supposed wake-up call. It's a reminder that even the best players can sometimes lose sight of their responsibilities, especially when they're young, talented, and under intense pressure to perform. But for the Browns, it's not just about a mistake or a lapse in judgment. It's about upholding standards, discipline, and protecting their investment. And Cleveland's head coach, Kevin Stefanski, didn't hold back when asked about the situation. He delivered a clear, firm message. Stefanski called the incident extremely disappointing and made it very clear that the team had already addressed the matter internally. But he also emphasized that Garrett needs to change his behavior, highlighting that his safety and the safety of the community are paramount. Stefanski's words reflect the team's stance. They're serious about discipline, and they expect their star players to be role models both on and off the field. This is especially true when you consider Garrett's importance to the team's defense. His ability to generate pressure on quarterbacks and disrupt defensive schemes is unmatched, and Cleveland relies heavily on his production, especially as they look to build a championship-caliber roster. Now, let's take a step back and analyze what this incident means for the Browns' season. Cleveland has been steadily building a competitive team, with a strong defense anchored by Garrett, and an offense that's been improving under quarterback Deshaun Watson. But these off-field issues can threaten to derail their progress if not handled properly. Garrett's leadership on defense, his ability to get after the quarterback, and his presence in the locker room are vital for Cleveland's aspirations. The Browns are eyeing a deep playoff run, maybe even pushing for their first Super Bowl appearance in decades. But any distraction or disciplinary issue can have ripple effects, especially if it becomes a pattern. Cleveland's management and coaching staff will certainly be keeping a close eye on Garrett moving forward, hoping this is just an isolated incident and not a sign of bigger issues. But let's also give some credit to Garrett for his response to the incident. While he has not spoken extensively about it publicly, he's aware of the magnitude. The team's message is clear. They want him to be responsible, to learn from his mistakes, and to focus on the season ahead. It's a critical moment for him personally and professionally. The Browns are not just investing in his talent, they're investing in his growth as a leader. If Garrett can channel this experience into a reminder of the importance of discipline and focus, it could actually serve as a turning point for him and for the team. And you, Browns fans, know how much Garrett means to this team. His ability to change games with his pass-rushing prowess is unmatched, and his leadership on the field is vital. But leadership also means accountability, and this incident is a reminder for everyone, players, coaches, and fans alike, that responsibility off the field is just as important as on. The Browns have always been about resilience, about overcoming adversity, and this moment, while disappointing, could be another chapter in their story of growth. Cleveland's defense is still one of the best in the league, and Garrett remains a cornerstone of that unit. But how he handles this situation now will speak volumes about his character and his future with the team. Looking ahead, the Browns will surely be emphasizing discipline and responsibility as they prepare for the season. They'll want Garrett to come out stronger, more focused, and ready to lead by example. This incident could be a wake-up call that motivates him to refine not just his game, but his approach to life off the field. Cleveland fans are counting on him, and the team's leadership is banking on his ability to rebound from this setback. The AFC North is a tough division, filled with fierce rivals like the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers. To compete at the highest level, Cleveland needs their star players firing on all cylinders, both physically and mentally. Garrett's role in that is undeniable, and how he responds in the coming weeks will be critical. Now, I want to remind everyone that the Browns are still very much in the hunt. Their roster is talented, deep, and hungry for success. They have a real shot at making noise in the playoffs if they can keep their focus and avoid distractions. This incident with Garrett, while serious, is just a bump in the road if handled the right way. Cleveland fans should feel confident that the organization is taking it seriously and that Garrett understands the importance of accountability. This can serve as a lesson not just for him, but for the entire team, reinforcing the culture of discipline and respect that the Browns are trying to build. And of course, we'll be watching closely as this story develops. Will Garrett learn from this? Will he step up and show that he's committed to being a leader both on and off the field? Cleveland is hoping so, because their Super Bowl aspirations depend heavily on their star players staying healthy, focused, and disciplined. The Browns are aiming for greatness, and incidents like these, while setbacks, can also be opportunities to grow stronger. The team has demonstrated resilience time and again, and this situation will test their unity and their character. So, Browns fans, keep your heads up. The season is approaching, and there's still plenty of hope and excitement around this team. Garrett is a key piece to their puzzle, and how he handles this moment could define their trajectory. The coaching staff, led by Stefanski, will be working with him to ensure he gets back on the right track. Cleveland's defense remains one of the best in the league, and with Garrett's talent, they can still be a dominant force. The off-season dramas and preseason setbacks are behind us now. It's time for focus, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. The Browns want to make a statement this year, and with players like Garrett leading the charge, they have the talent and the mindset to do just that. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Browns management and coaching staff will undoubtedly be having serious conversations about discipline and accountability. They will want to see Garrett's response, his maturity, and his commitment to the team's goals. Cleveland has invested heavily in him, and they're not just relying on his pass-rushing skills. They want him to be a leader, a role model, a professional who understands the bigger picture. This incident, as disappointing as it might be, can be turned into a learning opportunity for Garrett and the entire team. Browns fans, you know how close your team is to breaking through to that next level. They've been building, improving, and fighting tooth and nail every season. This offseason, they made some key adjustments, and the hope is that nothing will distract them from their ultimate goal, competing for the Super Bowl. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Cleveland has faced adversity. Remember, the Browns have a long history of overcoming obstacles, of fighting against the odds, and of coming back stronger. Garrett's incident might be a bump in the road, but it's also a chance for the team to rally together to show resilience and to demonstrate that they're a disciplined, focused unit ready to take on any challenge. The AFC North is a brutal division, filled with talented defenses and tough quarterbacks, but Cleveland's defense, led by Garrett, can be their secret weapon if they stay disciplined and motivated. So, as we gear up for the season, keep an eye on how Garrett responds. Will he channel this setback into motivation? Will he come back hungrier and more committed? That's what Cleveland fans are hoping for, because at the end of the day, talent can only take you so far without discipline and focus. Garrett's potential is enormous, and this could be a pivotal moment in his career, a moment where he either lets this incident define him or uses it as a catalyst for greatness. The Browns are counting on him, and the entire city of Cleveland is behind him, hoping he'll rise above this challenge. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this situation? Do you believe Garrett will learn from this and come back stronger? Or do you think this incident hints at bigger issues? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for this incredible team. Thanks for being here, Browns fans, and as always, stay passionate, stay proud, and let's keep the faith. Cleveland Browns.